readings with Debbie and Matty. 5-star readings only serving the best. Satisfaction guaranteed with Debbie and Matty. Always 5 stars, we don't do any less.
I just love that music. Matty composed that music, and he should be here anytime. So hello to everybody tonight. I'm all set up to do readings and excited to, I love doing readings. And when we get validation, it's just amazing. I love it so much. So anyway, come in and let's chat and let's get some questions going so we can do some readings. And hello to everybody. You might hear noise in the background here or some hammering and stuff because the construction has started to reconstruct part of my home's walls because we had a leak in a pipe. And I thought it was going to take, it has taken a long time, last week and this week. But we have a new people doing the construction, and I think they might get it finished tonight. But I have to sit through, they do have the walls up. Okay, that's good. The dry walls up. So we're just, I'm hoping it gets all finished. But you guys might hear some of the hammering and things like that. So, hi, Marie. Marie, you have to, we have to look at a timing for that, okay? I can look at up to 3 months for you. You're asking when will you receive money. For me to do it on a show like now, it has to be timed reading, and I'll see if it comes in that timing, okay? I don't have enough time to look through all the weeks and months. So if you want to look through 3 months or something, then you can write that to me. Hi, Carlos. Hey, Carlos. I might get my house done, finished today. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was quite an eye-opener. I learned a lot through this little disaster in my home about how people work and how they think and how they do business. So anyway, happy to find some really good people to be here tonight and to finish the job. So, okay, let's go over, and Matty should be here. Let's go over the rules. I really should have a list, right? You need to be 18 or older to get a reading. No legal, no medical, that includes pregnancy. We don't do mediumship unless it comes in on the show. We like to take more time when we're doing that. So we are doing tarot readings. Matty does charm readings, oracle readings, tarot readings. His what he uses. He has a lot of tools. And the pendulum, yes, no's. If we have time at the end, we'll do yes, no questions for you guys. So make sure that you share the show. Subscribe to Matty Tarot on YouTube and Psychic Fixes on Facebook and also on YouTube. And that would really help us out because we're giving you 5-star readings, and that would be a great thing for you to gift back to us. Okay, no proper names. I allowed everybody to see the comments. That's a new beta feature. So please don't put, if you're going to ask a reading about someone, like if it's a love reading, please don't put their name. Just say person of interest or person I'm thinking of or something like that. We'll connect to that energy. We just don't want to publicly put their name out there, okay? Was there anything else? I know, Carlos, you know my rules. Is there anything else? I don't remember, but you have the basic rules out there. So anyway, I do see that there's some people that are asking. Please share the show. Let's get some more people in here. Also, because of the construction going on in my home and Belle's trip that she took, we'll be getting back to hopefully Saturday our Joyful Pathways show at 1 p.m. You'll have to subscribe to it so that you get a heads up when we're going to be on that show. It's really fun if you like or interested in Chinese astrology. She will also tell you who you are. And I am yin water. And so when you watch the show, she will put up all the elements and everything, and you just look and wait for when yours comes up. And I wait for yin water, which is usually the last one, and it'll give you some insight. So it's really cool. And also you can get, that first free reading in an email by sending us your birthday. So look forward to all those things and Tuesdays with David Starlight. I see that Matty Tarot is going to be here. Hey! Okay, do you want it like this?
Hold on one second.
We'll see. What looks good on us? Hey, Tammy, Marianne, Marie, Kim, Carlos.
That's just okay. This is crazy because my setup is all weird right now, but yeah, hi guys. I'm looking up because the screen is up, but hi.
Hi. Oh, well, as long as we know you're doing that, not looking at your wonderful, beautiful husband. So we know you're not looking at Pearl, you'd be looking down. So, Opal. It's not Pearl, it's Opal.
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 Her sister's name was Pearl.
Oh, well, there you go. So anything, I told everybody that they might hear some hammering and stuff in the background, but hopefully that part's finished, but unsure. So you guys, I think that you all have the rules, and we do have other services in the description. You can go in and contact us for private sessions and things like that. And we also accept tips, and that is, I think, scrolling down there or in the description are pay links if you want to do that. But these are free readings. We want to make sure everybody has access to 5-star readings, and that's why we're here tonight. All right.
Okay, I think I finally got it working.
Okay. Good. I'm looking to see some questions here. You guys, please share the show. Please message your friends and say, hey, come in and get a reading tonight, okay? All right, let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Yes, Carlos, I'm so happy to have a washing machine. Can you guys guess how much it costs me in my zip code to get 2 loads of laundry done that fit in a regular kitchen?
How much?
I want you guys, let me see a couple of
guesses. We're going to guess. Let's see. 2 loads.
2 loads. One regular.
$12.
$12. Anybody else? How much?
$13.
I'm going to see. Oh, I got to go down the comments and see if anybody guessed. $9. Anybody else? And Tammy says we both give 5-star ratings. We do. $25. Well, you guys are so low, it isn't funny. It'll advertise $30, but because of my zip code, it isn't. It's really close to $50.
Oh my gosh.
I was just floored because then it said it was 36 or 38 or whatever, and then they said then we have a fee on top of that.
Are you talking about doing it at your home?
No, they take.
Oh, okay.
They pick it up. Yeah.
I was like, that's absurd.
It's absurd anyway. They pick it up and they do it and they bring it back.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's
If they're
only
picking it up, that makes more sense. But that's still expensive.
It's expensive. So I waited because I was going to have the pickup today. And the people came in and said, oh, we should be done today. And I'm like, no, maybe 4 days. Make it, 2 weeks or whatever that I'm waiting. So anyway, I'm really excited. But yeah, it was expensive. And that's what I was like, I wouldn't mind going to a laundromat if we had one.
There's not one in where you are?
No, that went out probably 20 years ago. There's one.
The closest one I can think of is by the Stater Brothers.
Yeah, that one I went when
And it's not like nice. It's pretty
No, it got a 2.7 review.
Yeah, I wouldn't do my laundry there if I had to go to a laundromat. So
yeah. I know, it's like I've got a pool. Yeah, it was a lot of money. It was, I would have had to do like 4 loads. I'm like, what? No, I could spend that. I could go down to my sisters or to my nieces. It's a long way, but it would have been a lovely time. All right, so yes, a drying rack. I have a clothesline. It's illegal where I live. They don't allow you to have it, but it's the umbrella one that you go like this and it pops up all the lines on it. So haven't used it in like 20 years, and Neil put it up, and then there you go. But I had to wash things out, and I'm like,
honestly, when I clean like rugs or like whatever, anything other than clothes, really, blankets, putting it out on a clothesline in the sun, the best dryer ever. It's dry like that, and it's perfect.
When you do sheets, it's better than any wash machine or anything in the world because you put it in the sun and it has that smell of fresh. It's wonderful.
And it dries so fast.
Yeah, really fast. Solar. It's good for the environment. All right. Okay, let's get to some things here. Let me look. Thanks for playing along, you guys. But I kind of knew that it was outrageously high. So. Oh my gosh, but it's been quite a week and very
nice
stressful.
To see you, Debbie.
I know.
Sorry I wasn't here last week, guys.
I was going to call you my sweetheart. Isn't that funny? Yeah, we missed you, but it was fun. Yeah, I mean, we had fun, but we missed you. Yeah. Okay, we're going to look. I still need you guys to bump it up and tell some people to come in. We're going to start
guys.
Games.
Yes. Please like the show, share the show. I'm sure Debbie went over the rules already, but you must be 18 or over to get a reading. No personal, no medical, no legal. I'm sorry, no medical or legal, and don't put any personal information of anybody other than yourself, if you so choose. The comments are on the screen now, so that means even in the comments, don't, you know what I mean? So, because everything is showing. Obviously, if somebody misses this message and it slips through, we'll do our best to try and take care of that. But either way, please submit your questions to the chat and you may be picked for a reading.
Okay, Marie, since I told you that, I have to just look at time periods for this, I'm going to just look at July, August, and September. But I'm going to tell you this, and the person that isn't here, that is a regular that we know, I got an email from her because I predicted that she was going to get some money and then some more money. And I said, so you're going to get this and how much I thought and this and that and the other. I got a confirmation email this week from her saying, absolutely, it happened. So that made me feel good. So let me look, Marie. Let me take just a second to get some cards down for you. I'm looking at July, August, and September, and we want to kind of see if there's some money coming in. All right. Okay, anyway, flip those cards over. Let's see what we have. I love the card that came down for you. It's my happily ever after card. The 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups that tells me a little bit about you and everything is maybe about family or family being important or love, relationships. It's just such a good card. I call it happily ever after. It's a great thing. Sometimes it also can be thinking about a wedding as well. So very, very good. You have good cards here. July, August. I don't have anything here that says there's any significant amount of money coming in. You have a money card, but I don't get that receiving it. But let me tell you what I do have for you, Marie. The first card down, as I said, is that happily ever after card. The energy crossing over you is the strength card. So it usually means in the future we have to face our fears and be strong and all of that. I do get that past this time period. So we have to look more towards when fall starts on this. I do feel like you're going to feel like you suffer a loss. So let me take 3 cards here and see what it pertains to, because this means that we are missing out on something has happened. So let me look, get a little thing here. Okay, I'm going to tell you, when I get this card of suffering a loss, I do get that we have a man that is involved here. I want to say an ambitious kind of money-minded male. I get a partnership with this person, and I also feel like possibly you felt that something was going to come to you, something good coming in from this, but I do get that doesn't happen. So FYI on that, all right? Write that on the calendar, because I really do feel like it's a major thing. So if you are having a partnership with this male at that time or whatever, I feel like there's something you're waiting that you're going to get from it, and I get that you're not going to get it. So I want you to know that. It does show me in the past you had too much worry, like way too much worry. I'd say bring that down. Don't do that. You don't have to. But let's look at July. July, you feel like you do get something you want, a desire. You reach a goal. So very, very good. This could be a change in your home, your career, whatever. But I get this very, very good card here. Mid to end of this month, I feel like there is an offer that comes in for you. This can be for career. Let me look. I don't see you taking it, but I do feel like it's always nice to have some options. When we get to August, I feel like stuck on a decision. It's just a little minor one. Ask your guides to help you make decisions, okay, during that time period, because we're stuck and we don't want to be stuck. We want to know what we want and go after that. Now, I love mid to end of August. We have the Magician card. That means that money-making idea comes in. This means that you can invent something. You can make something, and maybe you could sell it, because this is good news of money through creation. So I love that a lot. When we get to September, I feel like you're on your guard here, by the way. And almost like I got nicked once. I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again. And there is something going on about money, because it shows me we're juggling money at that point. When we get that card, if I might get it differently if I was doing a business reading for you or something like that. But this means that we're taking some money here and putting it to pay something there. So it's not really a prosperous card. So we are on our guard. We're watchful. We're kind of making sure something doesn't happen to us as far as from dealings from the past. Like we're watching this. And then we have to juggle money here. So again, I don't have the big success cards for money to say the money that you're expecting is coming in this time period I'm looking at. However, we have great things here for July. I love it. I feel like August is really good. but we have to watch out in September, okay? So do note this on your calendar. Manifest for that money to come in. Manifesting can change our, and I don't have that card, the hangman card that says, well, you can't change it. She has to learn a lesson. I don't have that. So do manifest. You can use commanding energy. Say out loud, universe, I want this blank. You want that money to come in, and you want it to come in the summer or in July or in August, and then be grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Draw that money into you because I don't see it right now. Okay, and that's what I have for you.
That was lovely, Debbie.
Thank you.
Okay, I chose Tammy. So, Tammy says, Debbie or Matty, do you see me leaving my job anytime soon? Well,
I'm gonna just, they're moving some stuff. I'm just gonna mute for just a bit and find somebody else to do a reading.
alrighty. So Tammy. I'm gonna say I do. Yes. Well, I'll say this. Your question is asking if it's soon. I don't know a time frame, but I do see you leaving it for a specific reason here. So you can kind of tell with the climate of whatever this is talking about, you know, how the dynamic is going, if it is soon or not, based on what I'm going to say. So I'm going to pull. Oh, look at that. I'm pulling it out the bag. Yeah. That also answers my question. I was going to say, this has to do with either somebody at work, like a coworker, or an outside, I was going to say an outside situation, like with a friend that triggers you, like to a point where you're just like overwhelmed, and work's already something you're kind of maybe ready. You got 1 foot in, 1 foot out type thing. And it kind of just like sets it off. But I was going to say that, but that's just answered. It is a person at your job, at work, somebody you deal with at work in association. So there's a conflict that happens. Maybe it is a ongoing conflict. Maybe this is some sort of, maybe not necessarily like a boom, this event happened, but just like a butting heads with somebody, or just no longer seeing, no longer having the same vision or goal, or just kind of clashing in a general sense. But I do see somebody that you are in opposition with, and it actually, maybe this is a person you kind of always, like, it's not that you need to prove yourself, but like when they say something, you kind of maybe get a little defensive, or you feel the need to like, no, that's not correct, and you know, correct it. You suddenly don't feel that anymore. You just are like, you know what, I know my truth. So that's fine. And it doesn't bother you because you're ready. And the reason for that is because you're ready to go. You're ready. You know you're ready to go. It's just this fear of maybe like the unknown, or stability, where you're going to get your income, how you're going to like pay the bills, and you know, move forward. That's what's keeping you from going, because you're ready to go. You've put your time in. You deserve it, actually. So I'm going to say this. You deserve to move on. Not even in a bad way. You know what I mean? Okay, so a few other things here. I see something you want to happen, or something that you would like to see in your life is right on the horizon. You need to remain holding that vision in your mind's eye. There's always something that people say when anyone's on stage accepting an award, there is across the board, almost, I would say nearly every person says the same thing. And that's because it's a true method that works. And that is, I saw this, I envisioned this, I saw this happening, I knew this moment would come. Believing, right? Believing and visualizing. It is so important. So hold the vision in your mind's eye, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what you see in the 3D world, because the 3D world around us and what's happening in our lives is simply the, how do you say, the thunder to the lightning. So the vision in the mind's eye is the lightning. Everything that's happening out here is the thunder, right? So same thing, just a delayed experience of it, right? So, you know, we hear the sound of the thunder after the lightning has already cracked and crashed, right? That's here's the thunder. I'm sorry, here's the lightning, and reality is the thunder, right? So hold your vision in your mind's eye. Do not let it go. It is right on the horizon. And keep in mind another important aspect. We've talked about this, but the believing, or I say letting go, letting God. Some people just say, you know, being open-minded, remaining open. There's a bunch of ways to say it, but what it essentially means is, you know, our limited human mind only has a certain perception of things. So we think that in order to get to C, you know, A and B must be done. But the universe is infinite. There are unlimited possibilities, and there are possibilities you don't know of, and there's things that come through in ways that we didn't even expect. And if we are so focused on a certain path, we will miss those opportunities. We will not see them. We won't, you know, if we're not remaining open-minded, if we're trying too hard to control. You know, there's always that story of like, well, here's an example. You drop a coin in the between the seat of the car and the the middle console, and you go to reach for it, and the act of reaching for it pushes the coin deeper, and you lose, and you can't get it, right? So it's like you're trying too hard. You've got your hands in the pot. There's too much going on. Stop. You know what? Take a different approach. Take a different method. Stay open-minded, so you can see the opportunities that come your way, because something is on the horizon here, and you need to hold that vision in your mind's eye. And as long as you believe and understand that it may come through, even when something happens and that doubt pops up and you're like, well, this happened, so that can't happen now. No, that's not true. That's absolutely not true. Okay. You don't need to do A and B to get to C. C is possible through many ways, through A, B, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, and then all of them again repeated with the next and again and again. You know what I mean? There's infinite possibilities. I'm sorry, you guys, if you can hear that. That's somebody using a tool outside. But either way, I do see here that there's a period of rest after leaving. So when you do leave, when you are ready to leave, when you do leave, you take some time off. I don't know if this is, you know, permanent for you. I don't know if this is just temporary, but it does look like you get some much needed rest. Mentally, physically, all of that. Emotionally, if you've been dealing with somebody or dealing with a dynamic at work. You're very strong. I see a lot of strength here. It takes a lot of strength to do what you're going to do, but you see the light. You have some sort of like epiphany moment where, or some sort of aha moment where you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you go for it. There's a lot of anxiety surrounding it right now, but have a conversation. The Two of Wands came out here. Have a conversation with with somebody close to you. I'd say your partner, and just get that support, get that reassurance, get that that second opinion even, and shortly after you'll see the light. Okay. I want to say this: the past is gone. So whatever narrative was running where you felt like, I don't know if it was you having to defend yourself. I don't know if it was you feeling the need to correct somebody. I don't know if it was you just feeling like a general sense of malaise or you know, blase, just like burnout, essentially, apathy toward the situation. But the past is gone. Understand the only moment is now. Be vulnerable, meaning be true to yourself. Speak your mind tactfully, of course. You know, there's a way to say things that maybe unpleasant, maybe uncomfortable, but you don't need to be rude. So, you know, you would never, somebody's like, does this look good on me? It's like, no, it looks horrible. Take it off. You look like ugly as hell. Like, you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that. You may be thinking it, don't say it. This is just an example. You just say, you know, it's not particularly my style, but I mean, if it makes you feel good and you like it, do you like it? Like, you know, that's, I mean, it's saying it without saying, it's tactfully saying, I don't really like it, you know? So there's a nice way to say that. No, I'm sorry. I hate the word nice, because nice is fake and a lie. We don't want to be nice. We want to be honest. And there's a way to say things with tact that may not necessarily be what the other person wants to hear, but you're not being rude and you're not being, you know, mean, malicious in any way. I hope I'm making sense. But I'm going to pull a crystal card to close out your reading. So essentially, to sum it up, you will be leaving. It's after an aha moment, but you need to have a conversation with somebody close to you first to kind of get some sort of reassurance. And then there's a dynamic that ends here, and that kind of relieves you a bit, and you have a nice period of rest afterward. I see nothing but good in the time to come after you make that move. So that is good to know, right? Let's see, crystal card to close out your reading. Pedalite. Pedalite or pedalite says this angelic stone was used by shamans to provide a safe environment around them as they explore the spiritual plane. With its very high vibration, it's excellent to use during deep meditation. It can help you reach back in time and heal all family wounds and trauma. I'm not really sure how that pertains to your reading, but possibly, you know, most of the time when we are feeling the need to, if this is what applies, correct somebody, if we're feeling the need to defend ourselves in some way, it's due to a trigger. And triggers are 99.9% of the time linked back to our dynamics of, you know, our experience while growing up with our family, with, you know, all those things. So if you haven't already figured it out, you might have, but ask yourself, instead of focusing on this person is this way and why do they do this and I don't like this, I don't like that. Instead, ask yourself the question, why does this upset me? Why am I triggered right now? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What does it have to do with what? So, and you know what I mean? And when you can figure those things out, you can then disempower them, take your power back, and that thing no longer has control over you. I learned something very good in therapy one time. It was that when someone presses your buttons, you don't need to ask, why do they always press my buttons? You should rather focus your energy on dismantling the wiring to the button. Take the button away. There's no button to press now. And they can stand there all day and press that button. It's not going to do anything. And you have peace, you know, peace from that moment on. So anyway, I hope this resonates and I hope it helps. That's all I have for you.
I was muted. They were banging around down in the laundry room, I think. So, all right, let me go back and get Mary Ann and bring that up. I'm usually have them right there, and I started reading comments. So there we go. I hate going back and finding these things. I should have been on it. Okay, here we go. 3 months. All right, Miriam. Okay, you know what? I'm on sticker moment here. Right, right on your forehead. I'm just gonna do this great sticker. Be responsible. You have my responsible card, putting a lot of hard work and effort to what you do, and this represents you right now. Crossing you in temporary energy is that you're manifesting all the good things to come in. I want to get my desires. I want to reach my goals. Come on, bring it in every aspect of your life. And I love that. Keep that. It's a strong energy over you. I do get in the future. So past September, you have that creation card, the magician card, which means having a great idea that can make money or actually making something that can make money. So that really creative stuff that happens more towards the very first part of fall. When we look at the past, it's like waiting for money. I'm waiting for a certain amount. I'm waiting for the money. I don't have any money cards in your cards here for this 3 months, but manifest for it. When I get to this month, July, I do feel a little bit alone and feeling a little bit unsupported here. Uh, just, let that go. And we're going to go right into something really good because I feel like if you've been feeling like I'm all alone in this, or I'm lonely, or I'm not supported, that's going to change. An idea is going to come in. Let's see the date. You've got a little bit more to go here, 4 or 5 days, but I think an idea is going to come in. You're going to grab it, and it's just really going to take you in a new direction. You're successfully going to implement this idea, and I really like it. Now, when we get to August, you get another look at double sticker. We should have some kind of applause or something. It's 2 stickers right here. Yeah, there we go. You get it from Matty. You get another sticker of being capable. I'm never worried when people get this card. I'm not worried about that. They can do anything they want. They're capable and multi-skilled. And especially in the first 2 weeks of August, you're going to shine in doing that. So very, very good. That is a very easy path and shows everybody what you can do. Mid to end of August, I'm going to tell you, you have this card of transformation. And this is when maybe we learn how to do something different. Something happens. And remember, you just got this idea in that you implement. This card is one of taking that and kind of reinventing yourself and going off on a new direction, which is very prosperous, by the way. So we have a transformation of something better for ourselves. Maybe somebody teaches you something different, but you have this opportunity to live differently, and I love that for you. When we get to September, let's call it a hall pass, because you get this, I'm going to go with the flow. Path of least resistance. I'm just going to go the way I want to go. Whatever is good for everybody is good for me. It's a very good time of kind of peace and just flowing. So I like that a lot. However, when we get to mid to end of September, I have that I'm on guard. I'm watching for anything. I'm ready for anything. I want to make sure nothing happens. If it happened in the past, I want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So you have that card of being on guard. So I took 3 cards. I said, what is this about? Now, you have the card of work. You have the card, whatever your work is, and you have this card of struggle and confusion and light arguments. It's going to be okay. So even though there's some kind of power struggle going on, something going on, you end up healing and going in a new direction. You're going to be fine. But it does show me that you're on guard, as you should be. There's some arguments. There's some struggle. This is mid to end of September. But they show me right here, you're going to be okay. You're going to move on from that. So that's what I have for you for 3 months. And thank you, Marianne. There we go.
That was lovely, Debbie.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to look for another person. Oh, yay! It's
I have this electric
Bug
swatter.
Zapper.
Yeah, it's a swatter that's a bug zapper.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I've
these
seen those. Does it work?
yes, and these things are like right here right now, and I'm like,
You need to just get a little thing like a windshield wiper that just goes back and forth and takes care of it. Oh, yeah.
okay. So
I love that. I don't have any new inventions. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I don't. I have my new background, but I think people have seen it. And they're only seeing part of it right now.
wait, what did you say?
My new background, but let me see. It's newer. I got this really
Oh,
cool silk screen. You know me from the thrift store, and I have lots of little lights there for nighttime because I'm going to be doing reels. And I'm going to be sitting here telling you true, incredibly, hauntings, all kinds of paranormal stuff,
I
and
love it.
coincidences, and I'm going to be doing it, and I'm going to have it real dark. And I've got some lights there.
I love it.
I wanted a different, a little different thing. So anyway, there we are.
We gotta do. I would love to be on and share because I have some pretty spooky stories.
Oh, please be on with me. That's going to be fun. Katie, you are coming in from Wales, aren't you? I think I saw that. Thank you
Yeah,
for joining us. And you got a reading with Matty.
yes, Katie, she
Yay.
can. So, Katie says about love, please. Have never had much luck, and I am such a family-oriented person, but I'm giving up. Oh gosh, we understand. ah, it sucks though. Like, let me just say this for real. Like, it is so unfortunate that there are these experiences that happen to us that are so unpleasant that it's really hard to not get that way, to not start feeling like that. So I totally get it. I've totally been there. And I mean, it does pass. I don't want to just dismiss your experience and say, oh, don't worry, it passes. Because like, I understand it's, and the more, each time it's a little harder, but then there comes a moment where, I'll say this. If there's something you haven't healed yet, then each time it's a little harder. But once you've figured yourself out, because that's really the answer, is the deep dive inward. Because there's always something we're avoiding, right? So, like, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding, Katie, about yourself? That deep dive inward, getting to the root of that and healing that, it gets a little easier each time after that. It's like, because here's what I'll say. Part of the reason some relationships are so devastating is because we stay way too long. We overlook red flags. We accept less than acceptable behavior, and we stay in something that has no, give and take. It's not a like reciprocated dynamic. There's like massive disrespect. We're not seen. It's really unfortunate, but we stay because we want love, right? So that's a big no-no. You got to not do that, because here's the thing. If you are, and I just want to be very clear. There's a difference between, humans being humans, making mistakes. And I personally don't think that being unfaithful is a mistake. So I'm not counting that. And neither is being in an abusive, like if somebody's abusing you, that's not a mistake. So that those things don't count here. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, humans make mistakes. We hurt each other. We make, and we act out emotionally. Sometimes we speak out of character. These are things that happen. Conflicts happen. If the needle's not moving and there's no sort of like mutual effort and progression, and like attempt, willingness from both sides to try and work through these things, that's the marker of this isn't going to work, right? If there is, great. You've got a normal relationship that, you know, sometimes you have problems. That's fine. Everybody does. If the problems are consistent, one-sided, you feel like crap, you feel like absolute, like you're losing your self-worth, like that's not a good relationship. So anyway, I'm saying all this to say, Katie, it gets easier when you've healed because you see those red flags from far away. You know exactly what you want. You know you peep game because you've done this before, and you know what people, you know if a duck if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You're like, this is a duck. I'm leaving. It's a duck. Like, so, you see it from a mile away. You don't take it. You're like, now you draw a hard line, and you're like, here's my boundaries. Here's what I want. And I'm going to walk away from this because it's not, this is not what I'm looking for. The connection's not there. Right. And that's why it gets easier when you've healed, because you don't get so intertwined with this person and then have some horrible, like long drawn out, devastating falling out with them, because you see it coming from a mile away and you cut it off and you go, you know what, this isn't working for me. And you go and you move along. Does it not? It still hurts. It still is like sad. Yeah. But it's manageable. And then eventually after, like, going through, because you're going to have to meet people, right? Going through that, you meet somebody that it just works with. So, Katie, I feel like you're still in the stage of accepting less than acceptable and not actually consciously going in with your full agency, representing your full agency at the most powerful, and your truth, right? You let your truth be muddied and masked. And I say you let, because if you think about it, it is up to you. The way others treat us and the way people respect us is by the boundaries we set and what we allow, right? What we don't say is things we are allowing, so keep all that in mind. Anyway, let's get into your reading. I see here that you seek balance, but you often find yourself in choppy water. I see here that you like a small offer, a person, maybe not so much. Not to say that everything's about what a person can give us or do for us, but what I am saying is that, like, I don't know how to say this. You may blow something up into like a grand, or like, oh my gosh, this is so thoughtful or meaningful, or oh my gosh, it's like when the person's giving you the bare minimum. It's like, it's not even the bare minimum sometimes. It's like, and then you're like, oh, this, that, but because you're when you don't receive, when you've starved yourself so long, it's like the little bit is a lot, right? But you deserve so much more. You deserve so much more. So this, like, person willing, they're barely willing to budge. They're just like, giving you their scraps, essentially breadcrumbing you, because they're really just this, like, hot-headed, arrogant, I don't like the word narcissist because I feel like people misuse it so much, but I mean, narcissistic person. Yeah, that's never going to bring you stability. So the thing here, I see that, I don't know when this is coming for you, but I will say this: you need to look inward and find out the reason why. Have you ever noticed this, like, oh, this happens again, oh, this happened again, this happened again, this happened again? Well, this is not an attack on you, but there's a common denominator here. Your picker may be off. You may be looking for the wrong things in a person, maybe focusing on the wrong things and do you find yourself so in your head and focused on what they are thinking about you instead of what you feel about them? That's a major one. That one was a huge green light for me. If you find yourself just full inundated with all these thoughts about like, oh, how do I look and what do I wear and then you're thinking all about them, all about what they are, you're literally not there. You're literally not there. So they're not seeing you, they're not hearing you, you're not making yourself known in any way. You're being literally a rendition of what you think they want. Meanwhile, they're missing out on the real you. It also doesn't give you a voice. So the thing is that you should be more focused on how they're making you feel. And again, this isn't about what can someone do for me. It's about arriving and having control of your agency as an individual, as a person with boundaries, who knows what they want, who accepts, acceptable behavior and does not accept unacceptable behavior, and gets what they deserve. And I just see here that's really a main focus of this, because I find I see that you often find yourself carrying the weight of everything uphill both ways, feeling so overwhelmed and like hopeless essentially. And that there is something to say for that. I will say this: don't beat yourself up. I know it might sound like I'm like being hard on you, but like, don't beat yourself up about it. It really just shows how big your heart is. It really just shows how much of a capacity for forgiveness you have. It really shows how much you like, if you're that good to the wrong person, imagine how great you're going to be and how shining and loving you will be with the right person. So none of those people in your past took anything from you, unless they physically took something from you. But they did not take your heart. They did not take your love. Here's the thing. This one, here's the thing. That loving person you met in the beginning, right? Each time wasn't them. It was their version. It was their rendition or their version of acting, because they were mimicking your love. Your love, they came into contact with that. They realized, people who are manipulative or people who take advantage or people who are really just egotistical, self-centered, whatever, just not generally overall good people that you find yourself with quite a few times, I see. But those people are literally putting on a show in the beginning. They're mimicking what they're getting. And because they think, that's a great way to connect with you, right? So that loving person, that charming person, that was you. That was a projection of you. That's your love. That's always going to be yours. It always will belong to you. No one can ever take that from you. You exude that. So understand that. That really the person you were falling in love with the entire time with these people who are acting was you. Okay? There's a moment of healing here. I'm going to say this. You don't have the right love doesn't come in until you do that dive inward. And have you ever heard of the dark night of the soul? I know you say you're tired and you're about to give up, but really, I understand this. Oh, look at this. Ghosts of the past. Ghosts of the past. Ghosts of the past. You got to take care of those ghosts of the past, because they are writing a narrative in your mind. They are dictating and determining every experience from here forward, because unfortunately the human mind does this thing where we write a narrative in our head, we tell ourselves it, and by way of telling ourselves it, we then act accordingly, creating our reality to fall in line with that. And we may think, oh, well, this just keeps happening to me. Well, no, because the world's not, I've said this 1,000 times, the world's not happening to you, it's happening through you. So when you have a lens you look through and it's negative and you see things in a negative light, then you that's projected all around you. And so, you may, and it happens so subtly, you may not notice. And you're like, well, how could that be? Well, here's an example. A person who doesn't trust, right? They don't trust. So their belief of people can't be trusted is creating all these thoughts in their head that like, oh, that person's not trustworthy. I need to keep my things close to me. I need to ask questions of like, where did this go? Or did someone move it? It was right here. And it's like, when you're having all these thoughts, right, then you start to have the emotions to follow, and your emotions are like, I'm not safe here. I feel uncomfortable. And then your body language follows, right? So you start to have actions that follow, and people are reacting to that. From the action comes a reaction. So your suspicious behavior and keeping your things close and being standoffish because you don't trust people, because it makes everyone else go, well, she's really standoffish, and why is she accusing people, and why she seems very assumptive, and I'm going to keep my distance, and I'm going, and this, that, or the other, whatever. And then because people are standoffish to you back, you're like, see, I knew they couldn't be trusted. They're over there, kikiing and talking, and I knew they couldn't be trusted. But you've created that, you know what I mean? And this is, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying this is an example, and it happens with everything, every belief you have. That's what's happening. Everything. It's no way to escape it. Beliefs create thoughts, create our emotions, create our actions, which we then get reactions to. And that reaction serves to prove that exact belief, and it drives it deeper. It has to work that way, or else the world wouldn't make sense. Right? That's just the cycle of it, right? And so when there's a subconscious narrative at play, and that's happening, what I just explained is happening, you find yourself in a repeated pattern, meeting the same person over and over again in different bodies, having the same situation, the same outcome, the same narrative, and it gets deeper and deeper until you get to a point where you're like, I'm just going to give up, because this is just hopeless. You haven't cracked it yet and seen the play. It's a play. It's not real. It's not a real story that's happening. It's a dynamic. It's a narrative in the mind on broken record repeat. So when you can crack through that, there's your breakthrough, right? I see that is what is needed here. You got to find those ghosts of the past, dig them up. The Queen of Cups comes out at the end, and that's beautiful. That's a healing card. That's loving. That's kind. That's such a healing card. And the thing you don't see coming is the Two of Wands. That is stepping outside of the comfort zone. That is forging a new path forward. See how this person has the world in their hand, and they are looking forward. And they're looking out as if they're saying, what's next, right? That's what the Two of Wands is about. It's like, so this, after you have this healing time, and you kind of start to see things differently and branching out from there, okay? I just want to say that the narrative in your mind that you tell yourself, you have to keep in mind that that's not actually your own thoughts. That's like, people have made you feel bad before, right? The things they've said have hurt. The experience that happened with this person hurt me. Somebody said something rude to me. They were mean. They, whatever. All of those unpleasant experiences made you feel a type of way, and then you took those thoughts and those words from other people, and you've created this narrative in your mind, and really you didn't actually ever think that about yourself. You just started to believe it because you told yourself it for so long. So when you really think about it, all the negative criticism and that inner critic, right? It's like, it's not even saying things that you actually, because when you're like, I mean, after a while, you may start to believe it. But if you think back, there was a time where you were like, you questioned it. You were like, no, I'm not unlovable, or I'm enough, or I'm not ugly, or whatever. But you were kind of confused when you first heard it, right? Because you didn't think that about yourself. So those things are not even your own thoughts. That's just like a story you've been telling yourself. Keep that in mind. I see like a big period of transformation for you, honestly. And that is the greatest gift that one can ever give that you can ever give to yourself, is the gift of confidence. That just came out right here. So this is what it is. Your next relationship is with you, and you got to figure this narrative out. You got to crack it. You got to see through the veil, lift the veil, and understand the dynamic that's been happening. It's a repeated broken record going on over and over and over again. And once you are able to get those ghosts of the past out of there and rewrite that story, then you will see the new path forward. The confidence comes in, and it's just, I see a lot of success for you in this endeavor. You I feel like you kind of needed to, you didn't need much. You just needed to kind of go like, hello, wake up. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? You know, I made a promise to myself that I would never let the world make me jaded. I like see people get jaded. I see them like become just bitter. And it's like, this world can do that to you. There are this is not a fair place. There are terrible things that happen. And most of them are unfair to people, right? It's like, there's no such thing as fairness. That's just like a comforting thought we like to have. It is quite literally just that in order for one thing to exist on this end, the opposite of it has to exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to decipher, right? And everything would just be nothing, and there would be no emotion or feeling. So everything has to exist, meaning like things that are good and things that are absolutely horrible. And the world is balanced. It's not fair. So there are horrible things that happen to people, and it's not fair at all. And but it takes all types of experiences to make the world go round, and for this place to even be in existence and make any sense, right? So I do see a lot of success for you, though. And I'm going to pull a crystal card to close out your reading. I've never pulled this one. This is a new one for me. So, and I've had this deck for a long time. I don't even know how to say it. Zoisite. It's fun. I'm sure it's not pronounced that. It's like zoisite or something. Anyway, zoisite is in tune with your emotions. This sacred stone can shift emotions and help break through emotional trauma. Exactly what we're talking about. When anxiety and worry flood your mind, this stone will assist you in your meditation. It allows you to use its celestial energy to let go of all that angst. What is that angst? What is that angst? It's just like this worry over the story, over the narrative. That's not happening around you, actually. It's happening. Trust me, I'm not sitting here on a high horse saying like, you can do that, because I do it too. I have so much anxiety around certain things, and I over worry, and all this, and I create this very situation I'm trying to avoid. It's like, I'm not exempt from it. But understanding the pattern, being able to call it out, see when you're doing it, really, really, really helps. And I have a lot of faith in you. I think think you have some work ahead of you before you find that person that you really connect with on that level. But please don't let this world make you bitter, because I do see your happily ever after coming once you make that journey. Okay, so don't lose hope. All right, that's all I have for you this evening. I hope it helps.
That was amazing. Okay, I'm going to do Kim, and then there's, I think, a couple of yes/no questions. So, Kim, let's start with you right now. You have a energy, the first card down, of a male, a money-minded male. So this can be somebody coming in, someone you know, but it just shows me that. Crossing you in temporary energy is the thought of money coming in on a regular basis with the potential to grow. So it's probably something you're manifesting in. Now, in the future, I think there's might be some legal paperwork. I get you making the right decision with this, but there's maybe some little bit of legal paperwork, something to fill out. Okay, that's what I'm being shown. You have a paranormal experience recently, because it's showing me the moon card. Sometimes that's paranormal activity, communication with the other side, psychic ability, but it does denote strange things happening at night. So I do get maybe a paranormal experience for you. All right, when we look at your reading, and I'm just doing a general for you, they're showing me a King of Cups. So King of Cups, a male that maybe likes to be around the water. Also, this is someone that probably doesn't have a real loud personality. It does show me a Hangman card here with this person. Hangman card for me means past lives, karma, fixing karma, something going on with this man. And sometimes it means that we're meant to, help someone out or experience something or fix karma. I did take some cards to say what's going on. They show me, I'm going to tell you, they do show me a money-making idea that you may have. It may be coming in, and in experiencing of feeling alone and not supported with this idea. It shows me that you're waiting for some results. I kept taking cards. They show me an ambitious male, but you have this great skills card. And so when I get this card, I go, gosh, you get this money making idea, you could do something with it. Okay. I get that you should manifest for a money making idea that comes into you. I feel like it's on your path, connected to two men that could probably help with it. And I want you to manifest for the people to help you once this idea comes in to make money, okay? It's a big thing. Hangman card is, hey, we have a soul contract, and we said, hey, we're going to have a great idea come in, and it's part of what you need to learn about and experience in this lifetime. So I get it's very much a intellectual property or something like that. A very good idea. Your course for this is to work with people and bring the people in by manifesting to help you with this. I do get a money-minded woman. This can be you, can be somebody that helps with finances and decisions. You may not quite trust ahead what is going to happen with your idea, but it ends up being an investment. This is good money, Kim. So this idea that you have, don't take that time saying, well, I don't know where it's going to go. It's going to go. And it will take care of, over time, it'll make money, take care of all your needs and your wants. So this is serious money here. So I think that you have to go through this, with the Hangman card of learning lessons and all of that in this lifetime through trusting yourself, aligning with two people and going on with this, because it's going to be a good idea. It's going to make money. It does show me as your ultimate outcome card that you go with the flow. You're very much like whatever's good for everybody's good for you. That's wonderful. Very selfless and all of that. But sometimes when we want something, we have to push that away and we have to do something for ourselves. Okay. So that's what I have for you. Now we can go on. I think that
I,
what was it? A anonymous person had one.
I want to say something about
Okay.
Kim said, people need to be open and look outside of the box. If you're looking for a loving partner, you might need to be open to meet new people instead of looking for a perfect person. So wonderfully said. So wonderfully said. I feel like people get this idea from like movies and stuff that like the perfect person exists for them. And that's just not the case. That is so not the case. And I like to say this. This is what I say. And a lot of people take this wrong, so don't take it the wrong way, but you need to find somebody who is good enough, because nobody's perfect, and nobody ever will be perfect. And if you're stuck on finding the perfect person, well, then you're probably going to end up alone, because you're going to hit problems with everybody, right? But there are people that are good enough, and they try, and they fall short sometimes, like we all do. I mean, how many times have you fallen short, right? So you got to keep in mind, people have behaviors, and they've learned these behaviors over their entire life. So you can't expect somebody overnight to change after one conversation, a behavior that they've developed over 30, 40 years. It's just not going to happen. So having grace, being open-minded, understanding conflict is part of it, and doing your best to work through those things as a dynamic and a team, right? As a team dynamic, I mean. Anyway, that's my piece on that.
Okay. A random person. I took some cards. Is AS my twin flame or not? I'm going to first tell you this. I get wonderful things. I get love. I get, happily ever after, getting along. I get an ambitious person here, and I feel psychically connected. You guys are psychically connected. Is he your twin flame? No. I get a no. But it doesn't matter. This is a person that you can connect with. You have this connection. It's very good. I love it. Very strong. We are not all soulmates or twin flames. And so I get a no on that, but I love the relationship. And that's what I get for your yes, no.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to call it. Unless you have something else, Debbie.
I'm just looking because I asked someone to do yes, no. Okay, this one right here. Yes, no. Can my sisters move in peace without my aunt harassing them? Okay. Let me connect to your energy in that question. I did the strength card of facing your fears and sometimes we have to be stronger if we're dealing with this. So if you're involved, I need you to face your fears and be strong and bring down any worry about this. I feel like there will be some kind of agreement coming in this. I feel like there's got to be talk about money and also talk about making a bigger decisions here. Let me, though, say, let's connect to that aunt. Is she going to keep doing this stuff? Matty, can you discern anything from that? I am actually not getting an answer for this.
For this question?
Well, will the aunt harass them continuously? I don't think I'm getting that when we put it on continuously.
Let me see.
Like it's not going to be forever. I feel like
I get a no. I think because I guess it's a matter of like how you're seeing the question.
Yeah.
I think it's just like I think it's just your aunt's nature. That she does this. But also at the same time, what may feel like harassment to you may not feel like harassment to them.
Yeah.
So it
I
really is a
think it's
matter.
going to be okay.
I was saying it's a matter of how you read the question. I see that from your perspective, it's a no. It's going to be like the same thing, but I don't know how I can't really tell how they're going to feel about it because, I mean, maybe, for example, we all have a dynamic with our family, right? And something that my parents do that really, really, really gets to my sister and really like makes her be like, really upset about it. I just brush it off and I'm just like, yeah, that's just how they are. It's fine. And I don't take it personally or to heart at all. And so, and she's like, how do you do that? And I'm just like, because they've always been that way. Like, that's just how they are. So it's like, changing your expectations instead of trying to change the person. If a person is a liar, change your expectations and expect them to lie. And then you can choose to, if you want to continue the relationship with that person who's a liar, and you can expect it, it can't, you change your expectations and it stops being offensive, right? If you choose to move forward with that person. You may still not want to be around it. You're like, okay, you're doing that thing. I'm going to go, call me later. Whatever. But anyway, my point is it's all a matter of perspective. It's going to be the same. They may not see it the same way though. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Marianne, I think everything's going to be okay with the sisters. And I really don't see anything bad. So remember the strength card. Everybody needs to face their fears and be strong. And, I'm very much a no-nonsense person. That's not going to fly with me. But I think everything's going to be okay. Yeah, it's hard with a narcissist, but if you realize what that is and who the person is that's them, then you just got to go water like a duck. Okay, doing their thing, have a little laugh over it.
Marianne, look up gray rocking. Look up the gray rocking method when you gray rock a narcissist. That's the best way to handle that situation. So look up what that means and maybe give that information to them to try to do it. It essentially is when you give the bare minimum in response, in emotion, in reaction to anything that this person tries to do, say, or stir up, or whatever. They're throwing things, and you're just like, I see it happening. And you're just gray rocking them, like no reactivity. That's the best way to handle a situation that a person who often takes situations and tries to like stir them up and make them volatile. So
now Kim was saying what I was going to blurt out. We need to use our spiritual part of us, and we can deflect, right? And so I do this a lot, and I'll deflect people. And I'll just tell Archangel Michael, come and take care of that person. Don't have them show up. And I do this all the time, and it works. There you go. I just say, You know, have them stop, have them not even show up, have them not even say anything. So do that metaphysical, you know, and this is spiritual thing if you use the archangels, and you know, just put it out there. He doesn't even come. I have a lot of things.
Gray rocking a narcissist is like, yeah, that's the method in dealing with people like that. That's the best. When you have to put up with them, then that's the best way.
Yeah, how to deal with it.
To deal with it and not get involved and get yourself, you know, hurt.
Oh my gosh. You know what I do, Matty? I would envision them with their crown on in their underwear. And then I would be laughing all the time. If they say something, you're just like, there you are with your crown in your underwear.
Or hey, say a prayer beforehand and say, you know, I pray, please, you know, whoever you pray to. I personally say God, so I'm going to say it. But, you know, hey, God, you know, please direct my aunt's attention to matters that have more to do with her, right? Redirect her eyes. So it's just a polite way of saying, like, tell her to mind her fucking business. Sorry.
You know what? I even have a method that you could get, like telepathic method, where you could get something into her head. That's not going to work with a narcissist. It just won't. I know it won't. So I just think.
Yeah, because they strategically and like consistently on purpose, you know, go after people. So.
Yeah, I
know,
just whatever way works the best. If it's humor, she's just doing this again. Or if somebody, I get that strength card. Somebody stands up and says this is enough, you know, if needed. But I think everything's going to be fine with the sisters.
Yeah, that usually provokes them.
I love a good argument. Okay, it's time for us to go, you guys. I've got to go see if my house is put back together.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate you. We are here every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. And yeah, so join us next time. Make sure you like the show. Hit the thumbs up before you go.
Okay. Subscribe to Matty Tarot on YouTube. Please, please.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
It's 5-star readings with Debbie and Matty. 5-star readings only serving the best. Satisfaction guaranteed with Debbie and Matty. Always 5 stars, we don't do any less.